Hi. Hello, everybody. I made it. I made it. I'm 4 minutes past the hour here. My apologies. I was having a little bit of a makeup crisis. Not a big deal. I handled it. Um, so I think I might wait. Ooh, we got 18 people already. Guys, if things start crashing all around me, it's because my setup here is pretty ghetto. My light's about to hit the deck. There we go. Okay. So, good afternoon, good morning to those of you tuning in from a different time zone from the past. Um, if you've been following this channel for a while, you know that I have updated my technique here. I don't put what I'm actually going to talk about in the description because I am attempting to move beneath the algorithms within the YouTube AI. I still want to talk about things that really matter to me. I just don't want them to strike me and interfere before I even have an opportunity to, like, start talking, start sharing. So, hi, everybody. Good morning, everybody. I'm really glad to see you guys here. I'm always getting a lot of the same names and faces after all these years, you guys. All right, so and I will be doing cards today for the elements, and again, what that means is uh, familiarize yourself with your natal chart and get a pretty solid understanding of the distribution of the elements within your natal chart. So earth, air, water, and fire. You're going to want to determine which of those elements or which two or three of those elements you have the most of showing up in your chart. And that's how you're going to get the most out of these elemental readings. The reason why I clump them together into signs is just because it condenses the message for larger collectives. I think it allows more people to extract more data out of the readings. And it also really helps save time. So as usual, I'm going to be doing those readings here on the public live stream. And then at a certain point, I'm going to move this show over to my private Patreon. And over there, you'll be able to chat interactively with me and ask the cards specific questions. Now, it's a really awesome vibe over there. We're a tight little family. A lot of the stuff that we talk about is, it's personal. People have the opportunity to ask questions about loved ones, personal relationships, jobs, life path, that sort of thing. And it's right now it's small, so we really have the opportunity to kind of, get to know one another. And it's an awesome little community that I'm growing over there. And that has been my focus as of lately, is just fostering what I'm building over on my Patreon. So if you like my content, or if you just like me in general, you think I'm cool, you want to support my work and enable me to move forward, please consider subscribing to my Patreon. Okay. Where's Bix at? Bix is going to be over on the road to Ruda. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel as well if you're interested in all things silver and alternative currencies, alternative economic systems. He is a genius. All right, guys. So what I want to start off with before we get into the elemental readings, I do want to take a moment to comment on the big news of the week. And we are talking, in fact, about Trump's arrest. Now, unless you're a complete rookie in this game, you're under the impression here, you're not under the impression, rather, that this is real in the sense that it is actually happening in the way that they frame it is happening. We are truly watching a movie. And this is a scene of the movie that it shifts the plot, certainly. If you guys wanted to tune into a reading that I did on the indictment a couple weeks ago before it happened, I remember pulling the Fool card. And the Fool card has a lot to do with, like, oh my God, like, what is he doing? There's a whole lot of shock and awe. That's exactly what this is supposed to be. This is supposed to create a lot of panic. This is meant to set the precedence for sitting presidents, former presidents, to come under this kind of extensive investigation. So if you want to go back into Q drops from years ago, this has all been outlined. And I don't want to get into that too much over here. If I'm going to get into Q stuff and I'm probably going to want to take that over to Patreon, just because that's that's really touchy stuff. But I'm not even the slightest bit worried about our president, his well-being, or anything like that. This is certainly part of the show where all of those who fear any kind of ramification, investigation, they're really watching this thinking, wow, it happened. If it can happen to him, it can happen to anybody. So I just encourage everybody to remain grounded and not take this it's not that I don't want anybody to take it seriously, because you certainly should, but please understand that a lot of the headlines that we're seeing, they're really meant for parts of the population that are still on the fence. So those of you that are in the know, you feel like you have a really good handle on the plan, the movie, the script, don't allow yourself to be provoked by, the headlines and this feeling of, nothing's moving fast enough or what have you, because really these headlines are not for the hyper awakened or the hyper aware. They're really for the populace, to try to sway them, because they're huge. They're a huge mass of mental energy. And so, they have to work harder to sway, to sort of tug those collectives using shock and awe, using linguistics. So, because I talk to a lot of people that are really fed up, they've been anons for years, they've been aware of, the corruption for decades. And, when Q came on the scene, it was like, okay, like this is going to be fast tracked, right? And it's like, no, we are dealing with ancient death cults here. They take some time. It takes some time to clear them out. So allow yourself to remain grounded. Don't allow yourself to be provoked or incited into any action, and just allow yourself to be more of an observer. And maybe ask yourself what it is that you can do to show up in your very own reality around you, your home, your body, your community, your family, your friends, your loved ones. So that's really what matters, okay? So, happy Friday, Clint. Good to see you. Good to see you. Revel's here. We got Delaney. Got a whole lot of cool people in the chat right now. So we have 40 people. All right, guys. So let's get on into it. We're going to start with readings for the elements. If anybody is interested in getting a one-on-one session with me, go to jennyconstantine.com and take your pick from my calendar. It's all of my availability is going to be listed there for you. All right, guys. So I think we're going to start with fire. All right, so Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. Let's take a look. Uncross your legs, everybody. You guys know the drill. All right, uncross your legs. Feet planted firmly on the floor. Happy birthday. We have some birthdays. Happy birthday. All right. All right, so these are going to be general messages for the week to come. So we're moving into the weekend. So fire signs, this is about your weekend. This is about your next week, which is going to be, let's see here, let's pull up my calendar. So the week of Sunday the 9th to the 16th. These are Easter readings, okay? Let's see. Art says, I hope to see reptilians unmasked someday. You know, that's a really interesting comment. And is that a Paula? No, it looks like a Paula. My friend, it looks like my friend Paula, but I don't know if it is. But hello, if you're not a Paula, I'm so sorry, Art Generica. Here's the thing, you guys, we can quite literally already see them. There is a dye. It's called diacyanin or something. I'm probably getting the name wrong, but they experimented with this back in the Vietnam War days. And they were able to sort of, how they apply it is they smear this dye onto their helmets. You know, they were their infrared or night vision or whatever wherever that technology was at the time. And they were allowing soldiers to, you know, they were giving it to soldiers, allowing them to use it for their ops. And a lot of Vietnam War veterans, if you listen to their accounts, they said that as soon as they put on this night vision or these goggles that were specifically using this dye, they were telling people that they could see things flying around the sky. They could see dark figures, dark winged objects flying around the sky, and all kinds of strange anomalies darting through the forest, through the jungle. And what this dye apparently does, and why it's now apparently a kind of controlled substance, you can't just purchase it, is because it allows the lens of the human eye to perceive a spectrum of light that is typically invisible to the human eye. So it basically enables us to expand our spectrum of vision. So we can suddenly see these things. I happen to think that certain like psychedelics or even things like trauma, unfortunately, where you are either deliberately or accidentally or spontaneously thrown into a new state of perception, I think you can see reptilians. I think you can see these things. Sometimes out of the corner of my eye, I'll see things like that. Sometimes in the middle of the night when you're in between that state of being awake and asleep, those things are visible to you. So I totally think that one of the next phases of this is going to be the surface population, that's us, our ability to cope and manage an influx of more activity and interface between us and these entities, these energies, some of them good, some of them bad, everything in between. But we are going to have to manage how we move into a new time, a new world where our understanding of who we are in relationship to all of that energy comes into play, comes into question. So I think it's part of the reason that people like myself are here, is to help bridge that gap and help people maybe deal with it. I don't know what that's going to look like, you know, but for me, I've seen these beings, these entities my whole life. So it's not, you know, I know that it's real, and I know that it kind of depends on the individual's bandwidth of perception, if you will. And I think we're moving into a time where our bandwidth of perception is being blown wide open, and massive, limitless campaigns are perpetuated to make sure that a lot of people do not experience that expansion of bandwidth, i.e., the jab. I believe that that's what this jab was about. A huge part of it had to do with sort of dampening down or halting or delaying this natural widening of bandwidth that the human experiment, or that humanity is experiencing at this time. The jab appears to lock people out of that expansion program and keeps people quite stagnant. I really can't with some of your comments. Can I like delete you? See, this is why I don't like to read comments and speak at the same time, because sometimes it gets distracting. Okay, so yes, Hero, the movie They Live. Believe it or not, I have not seen the whole film, but I've seen clips of it. I get the gist of it, and that's really like what I think this is about. It's In some cases, literally, it's glasses. In other cases, it's more symbolic, the idea of glasses or the lens of your eyes. Your eye, literal, the physical eyeball's ability to perceive light and a broader spectrum. That's, I think, like the next part of this. People may or may not be ready for it. And yeah, this is, whomever you are, I really like your comments. Welcome to the channel. I haven't seen you here before. Welcome. He or she says, I can't tell. It looks like my friend Apollo, but that could just like literally be a picture of anything. Funny how the jab kills so many healthy, young, athletic types. Totally. So we know that they mandated all of these, sports teams and everybody that was involved in something that had an official stamp of approval on it, everybody had to get the vaccine. I think that the looming medical crisis that we are all inevitably walking into as a collective, as tragic and an absolute failure that it is, it will still, through trauma, through tragedy, through chaos, human beings will find their footing, because we are dealing with the technology of God versus the technology of corrupt man, of AI. So those two things, there really is no contest. God always wins. That technology is supreme. That's technology. We are God's technology. We are superior, but we still will have to walk through the fire of the learning experience. And unfortunately, human beings learn through trauma. I wish I could change that, but I can't. So let's get into it, guys. Please stop making fire ass comments, because every time somebody makes a really good comment, I want to like get on it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to try to keep this shorter this time. One card for each of the elements. And we're going to get with our fire signs, Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. Let's get it. What do my fire signs need to know for the week ahead? All right, uncross your legs, village. This is a collective message for fire signs. Aries, that's you. Sagittarius, that's you. Leo, that's you. What do y'all need to know for the week ahead? All right. Well, I guess we're doing reversals today. All right. And I said one card, but I pulled two. This is what happens. Okay. So let's get into it. We have the Judgment card reversed. Fire signs. Fire signs are an example of people that when they're not sure of themselves, when they have self-doubt, that can actually manifest itself very detrimentally. It can be quite destructive. One of the nastiest things I've ever witnessed was a fire sign that felt judged or put out or pushed aside, overlooked by the group. So I want you guys to know, be very careful not to get too much into your head in the coming week. Self-talk, negative self-talk is going to be enemy number one. If you think people are talking crap, if you think people are, making fun of you or alienating you for any reason, I'm not saying that they're not. I'm not trying to say that you're paranoid, but I am saying that it really does stop with you. You have the ability to knock that mental chatter right out. If they're talking crap about you, it's probably because you're a fire sign and you might not be the most agreeable of people. You could be outspoken. You could be very passionate about your thoughts, views, and opinions, and a lot of people don't like that. So I do see fire signs as, from time to time, absorbing a lot of other people's projections, absorbing other people's jealousy, resentment, what have you. So be very careful not to allow yourself to stunt your own expansion by allowing other people's criticisms to get into your head. So there's a good chance, when the Judgment card reverses, this is actually self-criticism. This isn't actually judgment from the group. If it was an outward type of judgment, like a court case, or you're going in for a job interview, then the Judgment card would be, it would be upright, and it would imply actual assessment and sort of this extreme analyzation from the outside. But because your judgment card is reversed, this has the opposite effect. This is you overanalyzing everything that you say and do, what you're wearing, how you're speaking, so this is more indicative of you being your own worst enemy in the coming week. Okay, so don't do it. You're fine. Let's see here. There's no such thing as time travel. You can't make toast back in the bread. You can't make toast back in the bread. I don't know why that's so funny to me. Thanks, Alex. I don't know what that means, but that's cool. You can time travel. I mean, someone's done it. It has been done. It's a real thing. All right. Now, your second card, fire signs. You have the Six of Swords, which is really funny because the Judgment card reversed is very much about what happens when you become stagnant and you stay still and you don't move forward as a direct result of having a lot of self-doubt, telling yourself you can't do it. The Six of Swords is quite literally the opposite of that, which is the transition. It is moving forward. Traditionally, this is the card of calmer waters, as they say, because it depicts an image of a man on a rowboat with a woman and a child. And what he's essentially doing is he is taking this these two people, including himself, he's taking his family essentially away from danger, away from trouble, into calmness, into serenity, because numerologically speaking, in the tarot, sixes are about symmetry. They're about harmony. They're about reciprocated energies. So moving into a time where what you put out is what you get back, for better or for worse. So Six of Swords for my fire signs. Some of you may be quite literally going through some kind of a rite of passage at this time. Could be some birthdays, anniversaries. There could even be some events like competitions. There could be some this has like the vibe of some kind of a competition where somebody's like putting themselves on the spot and everybody's watching, and it's like, oh my God, like I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Everybody's watching. I gotta do it. So whatever that is, whether that be your dog watching you, your kid watching you, or a whole group of people that are just kind of waiting for you to fuck up or waiting for you to win, just know that it ends with you. You get to decide whether or not you're going to be kind to yourself mentally, or whether you're going to be your own best friend and gas yourself up. So I hope that helps for my fire signs. I really do want to try to keep this under an hour, because when we move over to my Patreon, I want to give them a solid hour as well. So folks, throughout the live stream here, I am going to bring up other things going on. You guys have heard me bring up primarywaters.org. Hold on. Wait, hold that thought, y'all. Because I don't want to give you guys the wrong address. Okay, listen to this. I'm going to put it in the description. Let's see. What? Y'all are wild. Y'all be so wild. What am I going to do with you guys? Primary Water Institute.org. Primary Water Institute.org. Run, don't walk to that website. They're not selling anything. Nobody is selling anything. It ain't even like that. This is literally a group of geochemists, scientists, researchers, just you name it. Like, all the coolest people are involved in this project. All the coolest people that you have never heard of are involved in this project. This website outlines some of the most vital information that I think is known to man, not just now, but ever. And that's why I'm going to utilize my platform as often as I can to promote this particular issue. For those of you in the know, future wars, as well as lots of current conflict, are and will be fought over water, okay? And what is outlined in this website, what these people are attempting to bring to the mainstream, really the implications of it are that we will never, ever have to fight over water again. Millions, hundreds of millions of lives can be saved. Waterborne disease, thirst, dehydration, starvation as a result of lack of clean water. All of these things are, scourges that kill more people than we can even imagine each and every year. And the truth is that none of it needs to happen. All of it can be solved. Every last fucking bit of it can be solved with the technology that these people they can bring this technology to every state. There is not even a need for water utilities departments in local government. It's all a farce. It is completely a farce. They don't need it. You guys, you have to get into this website. You have to find out what these people are doing. If you can donate $5, if you can donate $100, I don't honestly even know if they accept donations. I don't, but you should make it your business to support these people, because I'm going to tell you something. If we can solve the water crisis, we are taking away ammunition. We're dismantling this plan that the NWO absolutely has up their sleeve to enslave us by monopolizing water. Water is life. Water belongs to everybody. And this implies that the earth herself makes water every day, more water than you could fucking imagine. I'm sorry, I'm yelling. My kid just closed the door because mama's getting loud, and they're like, nope, not today. They're used to it. Okay. Don't put S on water for that website. Did I not do it right? Shit. Can somebody put the correct website in there, please? Alex, put it in there. Someone put it in there. I'm going to get back to doing my job here. Someone put the correct website in there, please. Oh, I did it right, Chris? Thank you. Thanks. Okay. Oh, and also, you guys, I am going to be making a TikTok. So there's that. I never wanted to get on TikTok until they banned it, until they made it, not good to have one. So now I'm just going to get on TikTok, and I'm just going to do that. All right. So let's see. Let's see. Okay. All this water talk is making me thirsty for real water. All right. So who should we do next? I think we should we're going to do some earth. Actually, no, let's do water. Obviously, we're going to do water signs now. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, some of my favorite people. Water signs hold a special place, I think, in all of our hearts, because they hold so much of the collective emotion on their shoulders. And we love our water signs. We are grateful for the Pisceans, the Scorpios, and the Cancerians in our lives. Personally, I can't stand Cancerians, but that's just me. And I'm just kidding. It's a case-by-case thing. I've had really rotten luck with people with really strong Cancerian placements. It's just like, whoa there, reel it in. All right, let's see here. All right, these messages are for my water signs the week ahead. What do my Pisces, Scorpios, and Cancers need to know for the week ahead? Uncross your legs. I know some of you have your ankles crossed, your legs crossed. Uncross them. Uncross the dang legs, Lise. I demand it. Thank you. Okay. The Fool and the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, all right. So water, y'all are having fun this coming week. The Fool is actually Aries energy. Has a lot to do with just jumping off the cliff, taking a risk, doing something new, doing something unexpected. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles, which anytime we have aces, especially the pentacles here, we're talking about the beginning of something. So both of these here, I am using Tarot Tutorial. Tarot Tutorial is the name of the deck that I'm using right now, in case you guys want to know. Let's see. Okay. So Water signs. It's so funny because you don't have any water in your reading. You have air, fire, and earth, but no water, which, if anything, tells me you guys may want to be very conscientious of your own nature in the week ahead. Realize that as water signs, you guys absorb a lot of other people's emotions and their thoughts as well. And so if you typically see yourself as a little bit more of a giver, an emotional giver, or someone who is even quite emotionally affected by other people in a negative or positive way, be very conscientious of your ability to um, almost magnify things. You can make things very, very big. Being a water sign is like that. I know because I'm a Pisces sun. So some of you some of you may be starting something brand spanking new this coming week. And some of you may even find that you're really quite natural or good at something that you've never tried before. I've seen the Fool come up a lot for people that just kind of jump head first into something and just based on instinct or impulse or something like that. And they find, like, wow, where has this been all my life? This is actually a really awesome fit for me. So there's a lot coming up here with natural talents, natural skill sets, and abilities coming into play over the course of the next week. Ace of Pentacles is also a really good money card. Some of you may actually be having issues with your bones. I just got that. So some of you may have fallen, suffered some kind of an injury from a fall, or some kind of a break as a result of impact. And some of you guys might be dealing with healing specifically of bones. Somebody may have had a hyperextension or a tendon pull or something like that. But I am getting the idea of healing, or sort of the culmination of the healing process, meaning you have to be very mindful of what you're putting into your body, what you're putting on your body, how you're treating your body, things like physical therapy, if you are in fact recovering from some kind of an injury, a break, or something like that. So be very conscientious of bone health and bone support in the coming week. Okay. How is Aquarius not a water sign? It's a really good question. So Aquarius is the water bearer. So you'll see, she's pouring out the water, but she's not actually a water sign. So very, very common misconception. So easy to make that mistake. Yes, yes. Okay. So, all right. So water, let's see here. A lot of news cycles. Some of you, again, those of you that are recovering from this injury, or there's been some issues with your bones, your back, it may help you a great deal to visualize, quite literally visualize the restructuring, or sort of the reintegration of some part of the body that was injured. Or if, like, some of you, I'm actually getting, there's like somebody is dealing with a liver and or spleen issue. You guys may want to speak to that part of your body, or you may want to seek some kind of holistic help. I'm not a holistic practitioner. I'm not a medical professional, so I'm not legally or even morally allowed to give you guys any kind of medical advice. I'm just interpreting energy here, okay? So don't get mad at me, but somebody's liver, somebody's spleen, water signs, you guys are going to want to pay very, very close attention to your health. This is not a warning. I'm not warning you. I'm just telling you to be conscientious of it. All right, guys. So we're going to breeze on through. Let's see. So the next group we're going to do is Earth. So we're going to do Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. What do my Earth signs need to know for the week ahead? Uncross your legs. You better uncross them damn legs. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Some of you might be singers. I just had someone in my mind's eye here hit a really crazy high note, which I think is cool. Synonymous with the idea of sort of vocalization, somebody who vocalizes as a job, somebody who sings, also the idea of vocal therapy. This is all new to me. I don't even know if this is a thing, but there may be some kind of healing modality that utilizes the throwing of the voice or the attempt to control the volume and layers of the vocal tones as a means of recalibration, healing. I don't know. I'm just rolling with the vibes here, y'all. So, hello, Jean Paul. Hello, Jean Paul. It's my friend. Jean Paul is a wonderful mind, you guys. He's a great man. I know him from Facebook. So let's get into it. Earth signs. You have the Ace of Cups and the High Priestess. So I find this interesting as well. Our water signs had no water in their spreads, and our earth signs have nothing but water in your spread for the week ahead. Ace of Cups. All right, aces are always new beginnings. So earth signs, you guys could be dealing with a new love of some kind, the exploration of a new love interest or otherwise something that generates within you a feeling of a heightened state of emotional presence where you're just like, wow, like this really brings it out of me. This really makes me happy. The High Priestess is interesting. It's Piscean energy as well. So if there's one thing, earth signs, I think earth signs and water signs mix pretty well. I've seen earth signs and fire signs have the most points of contention, and earth signs and air signs, because earth is so fixed. Most people that are very earth dominant, they are quite sure-footed. You know, they have a real sense of groundedness about them. That earth element makes them very wise, very inherently very smart. And I feel a lot of them have the ability to access ancestral lines maybe more easily than others, because ancestral lines are linked to the earth of which we come from. And that links us to everybody that has come before us. So let's see here. Ace of Cups and the High Priestess for my earth signs. Some of you may actually be embarking on new fields of study. Some of you earth signs might be embarking on some kind of psychic training, or even like dream recall, dream training, astral projection, that sort of thing. Anytime we're talking about the High Priestess, we are talking about the unconscious world, where we're talking about our intuitive abilities, psychic abilities, precognitive abilities, most notably that come through dreams or daily visions. If you're anything like me, you can just be going about your business, washing the dishes, or in the shower or something like that, and all of a sudden you just get hit with codes and information. Sometimes it takes a while to unravel it, but depending on who you are, that can range from totally normal and comfortable to, oh my God, I'm having a fucking panic attack. You know what I mean? So I do encourage you guys, if you're having any difficulties managing a possible uptick or increase in your own psychic abilities, ask for help. Okay, reach out to the water signs in your life. Reach out to your, somebody that you trust and somebody that you feel has had experience with that yourself. And I think that you're going to find the support that you need. Beta investor, Libra is air. If you're a Libra, you are air. It is really important to make note of the fact that everybody has more than one sign. We're talking about a lot of signs, which is why I'm saying look at your chart, find out what you are heaviest in. Earth, water, air, fire, choose that. I really adhere to the Vedic system from back in the days working with the one and only Heidi Vandenberg over on Channel 27. If you guys wanted to pop over to Channel 27 and watch some videos of me and her when we were like baby truthers and, just kind of getting started and all of that, those are really funny. Those are really entertaining. But the Vedic system does promote the idea that your moon sign is paramount when determining this sort of the most important aspect of your chart, because it's how you navigate the world, it's how you think, it's how you internalize the world around you. And when trying to understand oneself or trying to understand somebody else, the first thing you are going to want to do is analyze the mind and analyze that person's thinking process, analyze their patterns. Why do we do this? Well, it's good to know what we're getting ourselves into. So whether it's a relationship or whatever, you're just seeking to understand more about yourself, get into Vedic astrology, y'all. It's really cool. So earth signs, high priestess, ace of cups. We could be dealing with some pregnancies, okay? Earth energies. You guys might be looking at announcements of pregnancies in the family. Be very careful. You could be very fertile right now, my earth ladies. Be very conscientious. Ace of Cups and the High Priestess also represents the world, the unseen world. So the Ace of Cups is the water, right? The Ace of Cups is the cup of water, the cup of potential. Water is consciousness in physical form. That's what I believe that water is. And so between the Ace of Cups and the High Priestess together, we are looking at the invisible world. And this is almost like, in this context and in the context of unborn children and souls that are wanting to come in, this feels to me like that space in between life and the beyond, where souls are kind of queued up or waiting to come through. That's what this looks like to me. So earth signs, you may find yourself very psychically connected to people that have crossed over, people that have died. You may feel that the coming week ahead is actually a really great time to try to contact them through dream work, meditation, prayer, anything that works for you. I hope that helps for you guys, earth signs. Be very careful. Someone could get pregnant. If that's what you want, that's what you want. But just know, now would be the time. Let's see. All right, we have 60 people in the chat. Thank you guys for being here. Happy Friday. All right, last but not least, our air signs. So I'm a Gemini moon, for those of you that don't know. So I see myself as primarily an air sign. Although there are other placements I have that I would never publicly admit have a great deal of influence on me, on my inclinations. I just don't, some things don't need to be said. Clint, I hope those are thumbs up and not middle fingers. Let's see. Thumbs up. Yay! Thanks, Clint. Pollen spreader. Super spreader. Don't you guys miss the part of the pandemic where we were all labeled super spreaders? Like, that was probably one of my favorite hashtags of the Great Awakening, was hashtag super spreader. Because it's like, fuck yeah. You know what I mean? Like, let's go. I don't care. NWO, Rothschilds, Bilderberg Group, Soros, Obama, Hillary. Okay, got that out of my system. Pfizer, Moderna, J&J. The ones who took it were actually the super shutters. Yes, you're right. Oops. The ones who took it were actually super shut. You're absolutely freaking right. You're absolutely right. I hope you guys like that. That's me on the daily. I just be like, it helps, Sometimes you gotta just get it out. All right, air signs, let's get you guys in. And then we're gonna move this over to my Patreon, where I'm going to be answering specific questions. Actually, how I did it this time was I posted a heads up to my Patreon patrons and let them know to list their questions in a thread, a chat thread that was posted to my Patreon. so that in the event that they were not able to catch the live stream, the exclusive live stream, they would still be able to have their questions answered. So while the group is still small and I'm able to get to all of those questions within the time that we have over there, I do suggest, if you're already a patron, go over there right now, while, in the time that we've got, and ask your question, so that it can hit the top of the list, because once we get going, there's a ton more questions that come up. But that's what is so cool about my Patreon, you guys. A flat rate for a reading with me is $175. That's a lot of money. But if you subscribe to my Patreon, at $25 or $17 a month, that allows you to have exclusive interactive Q&As with me over on my Patreon each week. So that kind of levels out. If what you're looking for is a short, sweet, right to the point answer or insight for whatever your question or inquiry is. But as opposed to that, if what you're looking for is an in-depth, deep dive into whatever topics you're interested in, then you certainly can reach out to me on my website and schedule a time over there for a 1-hour Zoom session with me. Okay. So let's get it. All right, air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. What do my air signs need to know for the week ahead? Thank you, Lights Camera Ascension. We had the proprietor of Lights Camera Ascension, LLC, on the show last week or the week before. I cannot remember. But that was a good time. He also came over to the Patreon. Oops. All right. We have 2 jumpers for my air signs. This is what we're taking for you guys. All right. So we have the Magician and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So the Magician is Mercury. It's also Gemini energy. So here we are. This is your control card. This is the tarot's way of implying we're talking about the air signs now. Here they are. And then the Knight of Pentacles is one of my favorite cards. It's slow and steady wins the race. It's the slowest moving energy in the deck. So it does imply that something that you are trying to manifest, something you're trying to create, whether it be a building project, a business, something like that, this will take some time if you want to do it the right way. This implies no shortcuts for my air signs, okay? The vision is all there. The potential energy, it's all there. Your skill, your talent, all of it, your ability to transmit information. You can do it. All of this is the Magician archetype does not come up lightly. He's the creator. He or she is the creator. Very skilled, lots of ideas, borderline, like stable genius type of energy with the Magician card. You may rub people the wrong way. The Magician archetype, for my air signs, this coming week, you guys could feel like you're irritating people just with your presence. You may or may not be right. I don't know, but I'm getting the sense that you're so on it this coming week. Like you have such a sense of fire, air. Your ideas are so big. You're sort of transmitting all of this electricity, if you will. People around you, depending on who they are and where they're at within themselves, may feel like they need to back away from you a little bit or give you some space. Please do not take this personal. Don't take it personal. It has nothing to do with you. This is more of, them not a lot. They need to, people are just going to meet you. They can only meet you where they are at with themselves, basically. Man, I butchered that. But don't be worried if you feel this coming week like you're just a little bit too much for people. It just implies that you are in the zone right now and that you are, some of you may be dealing with an issue where you had to cut someone off. Somebody might have had to block someone, censor someone, or what I'm getting is contain someone. Someone you might have had to psychically contain or energetically contain somebody in your life. It could be a coworker, family member, friend, whatever. It doesn't matter who it is. Take it how you need to take it. But I do feel that you guys may be looking at for the sake of your own well-being and for the sake of your highest benefit and getting the most results out of this energy, you may truly have to compartmentalize and contain other people from your energy field because for whatever reason, whether it be their own projections or just how you are vibing with this person, you may need to cut them off temporarily or just put them on hold, if you will. If you have to be a little bit selfish, if you have to be, if you're perceived as being cold, that what I would recommend then is to communicate with your people and let them know that you need this space, you need this time. There's a long-term goal that you are attempting to manifest here, and what you need now is space and focus. The Magician is one of those cards. I love the Magician card because it's the person who has a vision of who and what they want to be. But it really only comes into this intense clarity while they're in solitude. It's a lot about solitude. It's the Magician comes immediately after the Fool. So the Fool is the plunge. The Fool is the child. The Fool is he or she who moves forward almost uncalculated, without fear of failure, without fear of risk or pain or anything. And they just because they've never experienced failure, they've never experienced pain. That's why they jump right on into it. Now, what the Magician does, so while the Fool is number 0, the Magician is number 1. So he is a step up, a type of psychological and spiritual evolution, and one rung up on the ladder of that experience, where the Magician is no longer this uncalculated child. Rather, he or she is a conduit of unlimited potential. And so, what is often required with someone in that space is solitude and an ability to allow all of their thoughts and ideas and visions and experiments to run through them very clearly without any hindrance. And so that's why I'm saying I think it may be necessary for you guys to contain people in your lives, and just kind of put them on hold and communicate. You don't have to be cold about it and be like, you don't have to ghost people, but communicate. Be like, I have a lot of shit that I have to really focus on. Please don't take this personally, but I need you to, give me some space so that I can create. So, I really hope that helps. I think that was everybody. I wanted to keep this under an hour, and I'm at the 53-minute mark, so I'm pretty happy about that. Let's see. All right, you guys. So I'm just trying to think about what else I wanted to bring up today. Sorry about my lighting. I don't know why this is doing that. I just have the worst luck with lighting. All right, so let me think. So Trump arrest just sets the precedence for former presidents and illegitimate presidents to be placed under the microscope. Please pay attention to natural phenomenon that's taking place around the world. If you have a really good website or source for natural phenomenon, please post it in the comments. I really think that the most important thing for people now is not necessarily being up to date with the latest on the who said what, he said, she said bullshit. The political dog and pony show is completely a distraction. If what you're wanting to do is get into the flow of natural order and be in accordance, in alignment with God's ultimate plan, then just allow yourself to know that you are God's technology in the flesh. You were spun into form and shape in his image. And therefore, taxing yourself, wasting your energy, worried about the he said, she said, which is all narrative. It's all propaganda from the left, from the right, all of it, you name it. My My goal here is to allow people to see that they have a choice to usurp the narrative. They can tell their own stories. They can talk about things that come up to them naturally through their own conduit of spirit. And they don't have to talk about the flavor of the week, the headline of the week, what every fucking buddy on Twitter is talking about. That's the hive mind. That is the hive mind. And yes, it's entertaining. Yes, it's alluring, but that isn't where it's at. The truth is in the unseen. The truth, some of the juiciest gems of knowledge, some of the juiciest lessons all take place where nobody can see it, where nobody can hear it. They're internalized, they're understood within the self. So don't allow the internet to rush you. Don't allow figureheads, icons, influencers to put too much of their own shit into your own head. Be an observer, be conscientious, and I really hope that this was fun, this was helpful, and thank you guys, all of you, for tuning in. Join me in about 5 or 10 minutes, pretty please. You guys are going to love it. I get to talk about things that I'm not really allowed to talk about over here, and I can answer your questions. Check me out over on Patreon. I'll be doing a live stream over there here very shortly, and it was lovely to share this talk with you guys. Many, many blessings. Happy Easter to everybody, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.